Hello and welcome to the Brake Tech Show on the Texas Truck Channel. Today we have something special for you. That's right, the 2023 Acura Integra. This one is the A-Spec with technology. That means it's right about $36,000 and it has the 1.5 liter turbocharged VTEC 4-cylinder borrowed from the Civic Si. And because it's an A-Spec, it means you can get it with the 6-speed manual. And guess what? This one has that, which is a saving grace for this thing. And you also get the cool red seats with the A-Spec. That's an option as well. And this has the gray exterior. Now, this is gonna be a walk around. We will do a full review on this following up after this video shortly. And this is our first drive in it. It's pretty cool. We have not had a chance to see this thing in the flesh very much. We've seen it in a couple shows, but it's our first chance to drive it and kind of get in on some of the features. And the whole point of this video is just to show you things that won't make it into the full review, just some neat features as we're going along, and a walk and talk, if you will. That's the A-Spec badge on the fender right there. You do get wheels that look pretty good. They're right on brand for Acura. And I was actually looking at the nose of this thing today. These 18s do work on it quite well. The nose looks like it's just off of the other sedans that they have. Straight off of it. And I'll tell you right now, I'm still working on the profile of this thing. When I first saw it and drove up and looked at it, you know, you look at the arc of the roof line, and because that arc is so drastic, it makes the windows seem much higher than the doors. It really isn't, although it does have a good greenhouse. It makes it look like it's more of a bubble car up top, and it's kind of interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet, but we'll give it some time. This is actually a hatchback. That's one of the things I like about it a lot so far, is that you maintain this giant hatch in the back. You do have this hardcover, which can be removed, but that keeps the sun off of your objects in here. And that second row can be folded down. And in typical Honda Acura fashion, you have a ton of storage underneath the floor. Honda is so good and Acura at their packaging. This one being loaded out has the ELS Studio, the 3D sound, and the sub in the back. So far, we really like that a lot. The rear C-pillars also have speakers in them. It's been really good. No complaints there whatsoever. On your hatch, you do have your open, and that's a lock button as well. Coming to look at the taillights. Very on brand for Acura, and I really like the rear of the car. It looks good. The diffuser looks good. It has dual rear tips. The car sounds pretty good. It's been surprisingly mature so far. Way nicer than I was expecting, and a little less sporty than I was expecting. If you're thinking Civic Type R, this is not that. Certainly is closer to the SI, Civic Si. And we do get the red interior, which, man, some are going to love it, some are going to hate it, but I think it's a cool feature for this car. It makes a lot of sense to me. And it's leather in the back, but it's more of a felt Alcantara in the front. I find that interesting. Now, as a premium small car, you still get a rear center armrest, and some vehicles, even full-sizers, don't give you that, so that's pretty nice. We like that. In the back, you do have two USB ports. In the front, you have a USB and a USB-C. This is with your second row down. That's a lot of room. A lot of storage in here. Really happy with that. That makes the thing versatile. You can put a mountain bike back here. You can put some oversized stuff. Gonna do pretty well with that. Let's check out the front row. Here's your door panel. Again, the ELS Studio 3D. Turn the lights off real quick. Door panel has a lot of features. You've got some bright work here in the middle. That kind of splits it up. You do have memory seats. I'm surprised all the features this thing has. Power seats. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'4", 6'5", and I am super comfortable. And even with the sunroof, I've got plenty of headroom in here. I can't say that about some full-size trucks. That's a pretty big deal. Good job, Acura. You do get some contrast stitching on the steering wheel. I like that a lot. The steering wheel actually is gripped just right. It's nice and premium and leather, but it's not too fat to be silly. And one of my favorite parts are the vents, which these seem to be lifted straight out of the Civic. I love this center dial right here, because a lot of times in cars you'll move like a slider left and right and you can't quite tell where the vertical fins are. This guy, you just point it where you want it to go. Wherever you point it, that's where the air is going to go. It's intuitive, it works, no complaints. Traction control, it's easy to turn off. One button to turn it off. And let me show you some of the features when you start it up. Being a manual, you put your clutch down, of course. And one of my favorite parts of this is the cluster. Look at that little Acura guy in the middle right here. That gives you your blinkers. It tells you if your blinkers are on. That's a cool feature because some people forget they're on. Shows you what your brakes look like on behind you. And if you turn off the cruise control button right here, press and hold, that guy goes away and the dials get bigger in the middle. Very happy with that. That's pretty cool. You do have lane keep right here. You do have your radar cruise control, and then your typical audio stuff on the left. In the middle, you have Apple CarPlay. Works out great. Here's your dials in the middle. You've got you've got dual zone climate control. No complaints there. You do have heated seats. You do not have ventilated seats. That is not an option. Wireless phone charger down here on the bottom. Works pretty good so far. I've only used it once, but it has worked perfectly. USB and USB-C, typical 12 volt, which I think we'll see go away in the future. No one needs it anymore. And again, here are your drive mode selectors. You can go from individual, which I've configured already for basically soft suspension, soft steering, and sport, everything else. But as you toggle through, you get a cool sound as you change it. Going from sport to normal and comfort, and it also changes here on the cluster. Center stack, pretty cool. We like that. Of course, the manual, that's the best part. Save the manuals, glad this is here. All the way over and down for reverse. Love that. The cup holder is huge. This is just a can for reference, but a big tumbler or something with a handle would fit here as well. And good center storage right there. Sunroof is a typical slider. Happy with that. It just works, and there's not this giant motorized thing going on there. Now, let's hop into the hood and see what we're dealing with. And there it is, 1.5 turbo. It does have an Acura badge, it's have a Honda badge. It's pretty cool. This is the VTEC. We've driven this in the Accord before. I've actually driven it with a CVT before. It does surprisingly well. CVT is very smooth, but I'm glad this has the manual. Very pleased with that. You can see the turbo's mounted on the front, and the cat is right behind it. That thing is massive. And once we get to the technical portion on the full review, we'll dig into that. We'll talk about all the specs and details, and more importantly, that is our race box mini, and that will be used for performance metrics. We've done a little preliminary testing. It was 104 degrees. I don't think the results are very fair to the car, so we'll try that again when it cools off. But that's pretty much it. Comment below if you have any questions about this before we film the full review. Let us know. I'll get this video as soon as I can. And stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching. Brake Check Show on Texas Truck Channel, and we will have more on this car. I can't wait to show it to you. Take care.